Thank you, but I'd maybe hold your applause. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our next segment because Syracuse University is requiring us to bring on our next guest to tell scary stories.
I don't know.
Are we sure? Okay then, I guess. Please welcome Professor of Scary Stories, Charlie Taylor.
Thanks. Thank you so much for having me.
Are you actually a professor of scary stories?
Adjunct professor.
Well, Charlie, we're still not exactly sure why you're here.
Glad you asked, Bridget. Lights?
What? Why did you?
It was a dark and stormy night. 38 degrees, 32 with wind chill. A young college student was all alone by her lonesome. The clock, which had been flirting with midnight for a great many seconds, sealed the deal. Suddenly, her Quizlet crashed. She lost access to the Google Doc she and her group had been collaborating on. She clicked and she clicked to no avail. Finally, she tried to open Refinery 29, her home base. And that was when she saw the dreaded words, "No internet."
Gasp!
You don't say gasp, you just gasp.
And the spookiest, scariest part of it all, my friends, she had brought this horrible fate upon herself because she had failed to get her simple, quick, easy, university-mandated COVID test.
Okay, wait, really? This is why you're here?
I'm sorry, Thomas. My work is not for the faint of heart.
Are you only going to tell stories about kids who don't get their COVID tests?
Lights!
Hey,
It was a moderately cloudy day, 44 degrees, felt like 37. A brash but well-meaning young college student with so much to live for was scheduling his day. He found some time in the afternoon to get his COVID test and penciled it in for 3:30. His phone buzzed. Brunch at 2:30? I can make it back, he thought. The naivete of youth compelling his mind to believe the impossible, so to brunch he went, carefree and thirsty.
can we wrap this up?
That's exactly what the young man said when he checked his phone and realized it was 3:15. Fearing for his life after a rushed car ride back from brunch, he stumbled through the ever-rotating doors of the dome to be greeted only by an ancient janitor sweeping the cavernous halls of the testing site. "We're closed," he said with a perverted grin.
No! No!
Oh, yes. The young man was defeated, so much so that after he left, he didn't look both ways crossing the street and got hit by a bus.
Oh my, okay, we get it. We'll get our COVID test. We know the deal.
That's what they all say, Bridget. Every great figure in history has been taken down by their failure to meet that simple deadline. JFK's driver was taking a shortcut because he was late for his COVID test. Caesar asked Brutus to take his COVID test for him, and it pushed him over the edge. Alexander Hamilton died dueling Burr for the last COVID test. They all fall at some point, all because they won't take the time to spit in the little tube.
Yeah, except for the fact that COVID did not exist when any of these people
what are you
died.
on about?
Lights.
Oh, I'm prepared this time.
It was a bit gloomy, with a small chance of hail, off and on freezing rain, heavy snowfall rolling in through around 4, maybe 4:30, I don't know. A dim-witted young college student, not unlike our last hero, was on a date. The water and the conversation were sparkling. Everything was going well, ominously well.
I learned this in English 117, foreshadowing.
Look at my light.
At the end of their meal, the young man beckoned the waiter as though he was summoning death, possibly death by viral pandemic of which he was woefully unaware because he didn't take advantage of the convenient testing system.
I wonder where this one is going.
Bridget, shh, I'm trying to listen.
He reached for his wallet, ever the gentleman, to pay the bill, but instead he would pay the ultimate price for missing his university-mandated COVID testing time. The waiter swiped his card, but eerily it was declined. Just then, the young man heard a faint voice. "For students who do not comply with testing policy, additional sanctions may be imposed." It called out to him, following a creepy cackle. His card declined again, and just then, his date stared at him like a freshly born baby, and she was not his mother.
Well, isn't this a date? So I would hope so. This is not Oedipus.
"Who are you?" she said. It was then he realized what was happening. His identity was being erased from existence. It was like a Thanos snap for the soul. The waiter bent down beside him and whispered in his ear, "The testing center is open tomorrow and every day of the week from 10 to 2. Make sure you use hand sanitizer. We're always watching."
Wait. Wait, okay, how did the waiter know Syracuse procedures? Wasn't the restaurant off campus?
Yeah, is this really what happens if you don't get a COVID test?
Lights.
Nope,
No,
nope,
no.
put the lights back on. Okay, thank you, thank you to Charlie. We're gonna try to get the lights figured back out. We're gonna try to get power back. We're gonna cut to commercial while we do that.
All right. Enjoy. Don't go anywhere.